Blue light strobing off my alias hands cuffed behind my back, and I'm standing there trying to explain to a police officer who honestly looks like he'd rather be just about anywhere else why there's a mini excavator idling on a strip of grass that Beverly Crane, our ever-dramatic HOA president, is calling Community Greenbelt with her trademark air quotes. I gesture toward the survey stakes I shelled out $800 for 3 days ago, bright orange and right where the property line sits, but Beverly's got something better. A laminated map from 1998, coffee ring smack dab over my bedroom held up like the smoking gun. And behind her, a ragtag army of neighbors, most of whom I've only seen in the mailbox, reflections summoned by an emergency text chain. So go ahead, guess whose story the tired cop buys at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday? My name's Nolan Pierce, by the way. Systems analyst, introvert chronic mower of laser straight lines. I bought my place in Willowere Downs mostly for the quiet and the promise of old shady trees. What the realtor forgot to mention was the HOA, or more specifically, its self-appointed Empress Beverly. Imagine a helmet of hair lacquered within an inch of its life, a clipboard like it's a badge, and a voice that's 1 part sunrise leaf blower, 2 parts chalkboard torture. 2 weeks after I move in, Beverly's out front measuring my mailbox flag angle with an actual protractor snapping photos like the world depends on her documentation. I give her a neighborly wave. She hits me with a violation for non-compliant cheerfulness, and with the most condescending lecture about how residents should maintain professional distance from HOA officials during active inspections. I kid you not, those were her words. After that, violations came pouring in like grocery coupons, nonstop, pointless, and always a little insulting. My porch light is too warm, 2700 Kelvin instead of the bylaw-approved 3000. My sedum plant is apparently too aggressive, disrupting aesthetic continuity. My little wind chime. She claims it's auditory graffiti threatening the so-called sonic landscape. One afternoon, I spot Beverly peering through a knothole in my back fence phone up recording for 20 straight minutes. Next thing I know, she's emailing everyone in the neighborhood a photo labeled "Decline" in all caps. Never mind, it's just my garden hose coiled slightly off kilter. Then she catches sight of the side lot, this pathetic little sliver of scrub I mowed out of habit, thinking it was mine. Instantly, she's got her nose in the air, declaring it's common area, absolutely no personal storage allowed, as if I'm stockpiling nuclear waste back there. My personal storage is a single tomato cage holding up one lonely beefsteak tomato plant, but that's all the ammunition Beverly needs. She drafts a 17-page amendment about unauthorized horticultural frameworks, passes it at an emergency meeting with just herself and her 2 HOA minions, then comes onto my property at 6 a.m. while I'm at work and rips out the cage like she's performing a federal raid, leaving my sad tomato plant wilting on the ground, staked with a laminated violation notice for good measure. From there, she goes from petty to operatic. I'm talking glossy flyers to all 73 houses, accusing me of deliberate plot theft and botanical terrorism. A Nextdoor post racks up 47 comments accusing me of prepping for an illegal dog track, and wait for it, a meth lab, because I'm suspiciously growing tomatoes. Finally, she sends a certified letter with delivery confirmation demanding I cease all construction on HOA property or face immediate enforcement, including civil litigation, criminal charges, and permanent banishment from all community events. My construction was literally 3 stepping stones and a rain barrel from Home Depot. But Beverly is nothing if not relentless. First, she files a non-emergency police report. When that's not fast enough, she dials 911 and tells the officer in her most official tone that I'm criminally encroaching on protected greenbelt lands in violation of County Ordinance 7.3.5, which, by the way, she made up on the spot, but says it like she's quoting the Constitution. She shows off a blow-up of the plat map, where, what do you know, my property line is shifted 2 feet by a thick black marker. She even submits a notice of encroachment to the county, signed by Acting Land Use Commissioner Beverly Crane, a position she gifted herself complete with a fake seal she pulled from Google Images. So I do what any rational, slightly desperate person would I call a legit survey company. Stakes go in 18 inches deep. That night the stakes disappear. My security camera mysteriously loses power. The next night I'm standing in cuffs because Beverly claims I'm grading wetlands with heavy equipment, a rental mini excavator I brought in to pull a stump parked on my own gravel. The wetland is my morning grass damp from the sprinklers. The cop looks exhausted, but Beverly's got an environmental impact assessment probably printed off a website and enough fake paperwork to fill a briefcase, so protocol is protocol. As they load me into the squad car, Beverly's grinning arms crossed, announcing to anyone listening that she's defending the neighborhood's common space for future generations. Jail, let me tell you, fluorescent lighting does not make anyone look good. And somewhere around 2 a.m., I hit a new level of clarity about how much of this I'm willing to swallow. Next morning, I call a property dispute attorney and a title officer. That's when things get interesting. By noon, we've got the deed, the meets and bounds from 1892, and a GIS overlay that looks like rainbow spaghetti, but all of it says the strip in question is mine, always has been, long before the HOA even existed. The county clerk. The notice of encroachment Beverly filed actually corresponds to a marriage license for two people named Rodriguez, the land use department. They've never heard of Commissioner Crane and are very, very curious about their seal appearing on HOA paperwork. And the survey company, they send time-stamped photos from installation plus a Ring doorbell cam from across the street showing Beverly at 2:13 a.m., hauling my survey stakes away, dressed like she's on a secret op tactical vest and all. My lawyer puts together a file that gets thicker every hour. Forged signatures, fake meeting minutes, the works. At arraignment, my lawyer hands the judge a mountain of real paperwork, warranty deed, 40 years of title insurance, the original plat, a sworn affidavit from the subdivision's retired civil engineer, and evidence of 16 separate cases of Beverly filing false documents. Beverly, she's got her 1998 map with the coffee stain and a speech about protecting the character and property values of the neighborhood and the tragedy of the commons. The judge lets her talk for a minute, then holds up a hand, asks Ms. Crane, "What governmental office empowered you to record this notice?" Silence so thick you can hear the AC. Even the court reporter looks up. Beverly tries to recover, talks about community standards and implied authority. The judge's eyebrows keep climbing. He flips through her stack, then mine, muttering under his breath. Finally, he asks if she knows what filing a false instrument means. Beverly claims she was just protecting the neighborhood. The judge's face goes from tired to delighted. "Are you aware impersonating a government official is a federal offense?" Beverly goes ghost white. He dismisses my charges with prejudice and recommends the DA look into Beverly's filings for possible criminal prosecution. 2 weeks later, we're in the community clubhouse AC, cranked to meat locker DA's investigator at the head of the table. 2 HOA board members can't meet anyone's eyes. Beverly sits in a red cardigan, hands shaking. The investigator lists the charges: filing a false instrument felony, tampering with survey markers, misdemeanor making a false police report, another misdemeanor impersonating a government official, federal vandalism, criminal trespass, false imprisonment. Then he clicks on the TV, and there's Beverly in full tactical gear, yanking my stakes with a garden trowel and mumbling about property lines being a capitalist social construct. It plays for 3 minutes. The room is dead silent, except for someone's cough. The penalties hit hard. False instrument charge could mean up to 4 years in prison, $10,000 fines. Federal charges for impersonation add 5 more. Beverly drops her water glass ice all over the tile. No one moves to help. The board votes unanimously to boot her as President Gerald, Her right-hand guy for 6 years looks like he swallowed a lemon. She's banned from all HOA positions, hit with fines for every bogus notice she ever mailed. I get reimbursed for the survey, the rental, the lawyer's fees, 12 grand, and for the cherry on top, the $23 tomato cage, and the estimated value of 36 pounds of lost tomatoes. Beverly tries to speak, but her voice just cracks. The investigator offers her a plea: 18 months probation, $5,000 in fines, 200 hours of community service, or she can roll the dice in court and face up to 11 years. She goes limp, says she'll take the deal, and her hands are shaking so bad she can barely sign. By spring, my illegal dog track is now a neat little herb garden with a survey marker set in concrete and a document framed in my hallway declaring the Pierce side yard with easement recorded. Beverly's community service is scheduled by the same judge she tried to impress, weekly litter pickup along the very green belt she once defended, now officially my land. HOA rules changed, now no enforcement without real evidence, 2 board signatures, digital paperwork. Last week, Beverly walked past in a neon safety vest, pokey stick in hand, and asked if the rosemary clippings were community property. I smiled and handed her a bag labeled Private Herbs Lot 17, property of Nolan Pierce, verified by county survey, and watched her log it like she was making peace with karma. That $5,000 fine wiped out her savings, and her probation barred her from even running for the library board, not to mention her suspended real estate license. She looked smaller, like a birthday balloon a week after the party, picking up trash along my freshly marked property line while the new HOA president drove by and waved. So tell me, where's the line between protecting a community and becoming the villain of your own neighborhood? Drop your take below. Have you ever tangled with an HOA or a Beverly of your own? Share your story. I'm all ears. And if you believe property rights should mean something, hit like, and let's make sure every tomato cage in America gets the respect it deserves.